Hey everyone, Minutia Minute here, coming at you guys with a package unboxing. It's been a little while since we did one of these, and I thought it might be kind of fun. I haven't been doing a ton of home video shopping lately because there's just a lot of stuff that I have to watch already, and especially early in the year, I'm trying to just focus on getting through the stuff I already have. There was that really awesome looking folklore box set from, was that Severin, I think? I really want to get that, but it's just not in the cards right now. It's very expensive, and I've got just a lot of other stuff to get. I've got my eye on a few Vinegar Syndrome titles that I'm hoping to pick up here in the next week or two, so maybe I'll have a Vinegar Syndrome haul for you in the not too distant future. But in the meantime, I was browsing around online, and I found this item. And as you can see, spoiler alert, it's Wasabi Delight flavor snack mix. I'm of course just kidding. It's a home media item, and it was super cheap. It was like $10 or $7.95, something like that. And it was actually something that I had when I was younger, and I thought it might be kind of fun to do a retro unboxing. So that's what this is going to be today. So let's break this sucker open and see what I bought. I'm breaking out my old but trusty bat knife. It's actually kind of insane just how totally dull this thing is. It literally can't even open this. That's really funny. I got this when I was in high school, and a friend of mine used to chuck it at trees and stick it in the sides of trees. None of us got too badly hurt, but as you can see, it's just like beat to hell. Luckily, it's stainless steel. Alright, so I'm breaking this sucker open. I can't even tell you how excited I am about this. As you can see, it's a little bit dinged up, but that's alright. This is the limited edition Tomorrow Never Dies VHS plus a bonus VHS, highly classified, The World of 007, a never-before-seen video with behind-the-scenes footage. It's like a, if I remember correctly, it's like an hour-long documentary. There is a reproduction of a Pierce Brosnan autographed final shooting script. So just to be clear, it's not autographed by Pierce Brosnan, it's a reproduction of an autographed final shooting script. There's an entry form for the Live Like Bond sweepstakes. I don't know about you guys, but I'm planning on entering that. A collectible photo set, and a certificate of authenticity. So just a little bit of background on this. Tomorrow Never Dies, when it came out, was one of my all-time favorite Bond movies, which is funny in retrospect. It's actually one of my absolute least favorite Bond films now. But at the time, you know, it was my first Bond film in theaters. I don't think I saw GoldenEye in theaters. I saw the trailer for GoldenEye like a million times, but I didn't see GoldenEye itself. And so Tomorrow Never Dies was the first one I saw on the big screen, and it absolutely blew me away. It's one of those things where, you know, when you're young, you know, the comical ridiculousness of the villain, you don't notice quite as much. Michelle Yeoh is in this. She is the highlight of the movie for sure. Although looking back, she makes Bond look like an idiot the whole movie, which really kind of kills the fun of watching a Bond movie. But nevertheless, you can't really blame Michelle Yeoh for that, and I was super impressed with her. It was how I actually first became familiar with her as an actress. I followed her ever since then, and it's part of what made me go back and check out old Jackie Chan movies, was seeing Super Cop with Michelle Yeoh in it. So this movie, even though it's not my favorite anymore, it still has a very special place in my heart, and I remember waiting forever for this movie to come out on VHS. And it just seemed like it was never coming out. By the time this was released, I'm pretty sure we had all of the James Bond films on VHS up through GoldenEye, and all I wanted to do was watch Tomorrow Never Dies, and I couldn't. Fast forward, we saw this at a Suncoast one day, and as you can see, it was $40, which is not cheap, but I absolutely had to buy it because I just couldn't wait any longer to see it. I was so excited. I knew that when the VHS came out, it was going to be like $20 to $30, so why not spring for the limited edition? So I saved up my money, bought this movie, took it home, and watched it probably 20 times. One of my fondest home video memories was bringing home this box set. So let's break this sucker open and see what's inside. If you've been watching my Star Wars CCG videos, you'll know these shrink wraps from the late 90s are just very heavy duty, and they have a tendency to slowly constrict and crush the product that's inside. I'm actually excited. This looks super dirty, but you take the film off, and it doesn't look half bad. It's actually pretty shiny. Some spots, but you know, whatever, it's old. There is a couple nasty bits on the top that you can't quite see, but that's all right. It will serve the purposes of this video. All right, so there is that shiny box set. Awesome. Then you've got is this a J card or an L card or a P card? Whatever. We already looked at this. And then pop the lid. And on the inside, you've got 2 movies, a script, and the art cards or whatever are on the inside. So we'll pop this bad boy open first. So here's the movie itself, Tomorrow Never Dies. I remember when we bought this, I was disappointed because it did not have the James Bond collection banner across the top, and all of the other James Bond movies had that. By the time we were buying them, GoldenEye had been re-released on VHS and also had that James Bond banner across the top, which I actually do have an example of because I have this old behind the scenes with Thunderball, and you can see the James Bond collection across the top. So all the VHSs, when they were re-released in the mid-90s, had this banner, except for my favorite Bond movie ever, Tomorrow Never Dies. Anyway, let's go ahead and pop this sucker open. So then on the inside, wow, look how faded out that is. The classic Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer VHS label. It's funny, you know, this has been sitting here in packaging, very well preserved, but it looks like it just came from a Goodwill. Next up, we have The Mission of a Lifetime. So you could enter the Live Like Bond sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Details were inside the box, though. Very cool. Any of you guys want to enter this, let me know. I'll send you a digital PDF of this, and you can submit your entry, because no purchase is necessary. And then inside there is this kind of nice, it's sort of like a matte finish certificate of authenticity. Her Majesty's Secret Service hereby certifies this Tomorrow Never Dies limited edition with the following classified code. So presumably this is the 50,000th 664th copy of the film that was released in this limited edition. Kind of crazy to think about now when, you know, a movie gets 6,000 copies as a limited edition and it sits on the website of whatever boutique label is selling it for like a year before it actually sells out, which this presumably had over 100,000 copies, considering that there is a 0 in the front there. All right, next up, we've got the script facsimile, United Artists Tomorrow Never Dies by Bruce Fierstein, signed, quote-unquote, by Pierce Brosnan, final shooting script. I remember going through every page of this, looking to find the deleted scenes, but this is truly like the final script. So there isn't really anything of note in here, at least not that I could find. I remember thinking that this was like the most pointless thing to include. Looking back at it, I guess it's kind of cool, but you know, it's really just a VHS shaped thing that can go in this giant box here more than anything else. All right, and then we've got a couple more items here. We've got behind the scenes photos, looks like. We've got Pierce Brosnan on a boat. This is towards the end of the movie. This is actually one of the better scenes of the movie. This is the scene where Pierce Brosnan kills the assassin that was sent to kill him. I can't remember the name of the actor right now that plays the assassin, but he's fantastic in it. He's good in everything. I should know his name. I'm blanking on it right now. There's a scene from the beginning of the movie. One of the things I learned after the fact about this movie is that it was a film that was in development hell. One of those movies where they didn't really have a script that was ready. The whole movie was, duct taped together in the editing bay with a bunch of reshoots, like that kind of a thing. I think like every Disney Star Wars movie, Tomorrow Never Dies was one of those, which is too bad because after GoldenEye, there was so much goodwill about 007 again. And it's kind of sad to know that they kind of misfired. As much as I loved this movie at the time, I know a lot of hardcore Bond fans felt like this was a really disappointing follow-up to GoldenEye from just 2 years before. Another thing that's kind of sad about it is I believe this was the last film in the series in which Albert R. Broccoli actually supervised production. He was definitely kind of at the end of his producing career. I know he wasn't as involved in GoldenEye and probably even less in Tomorrow Never Dies, but this is the last Bond film that entered production while Cubby Broccoli was still around for it. So, all right, so that just leaves one more thing, which is highly classified, the world of 007. Just going to say also missing the James Bond collection banner across the top. So this was actually pretty good as a behind-the-scenes documentary, if I remember correctly. The way this stuff is listed out, it seems like it's a whole slew of special features, but it's really just 1 hour-long special within which all of this stuff is contained. So we'll go ahead and pop this bad boy open. And take a look at the inside, and hey, look at this. That looks way better than the Tomorrow Never Dies label does. Interesting. As you can see on the runtime here, this was 58 minutes. So just a single feature, almost feature length. An hour technically is feature length. And this VHS was released in 1998. So Tomorrow Never Dies came out in 1997. I don't remember if it was summer or fall. It was probably Christmas. And I don't think I saw Tomorrow Never Dies on its own until like right before The World Is Not Enough came out. I only ever saw this limited edition, and maybe it did come out sooner than I realized. I just had stopped looking because we got the limited edition, but for whatever reason, this was the only way I could find it, so that was the way that we bought it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this retro unboxing. We'll just go ahead and put everything back together here. But just kind of a fun, blast from the past. I'm not someone who does a lot of double dipping, and I'm definitely not someone who's like a VHS fanatic. But there are a few sets out there, a few movies that, your nostalgia bone is just tickled in that special way, and you just want to have it. Purely a matter of packaging and nostalgia, and there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I hope you guys have a great week in movies. Thanks for watching.